Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here, YouTube. Welcome to my third album review for 2018. So, as you can see, I'm here to review the newest album from Saxon, which of course is Thunderbolt, which was just dropped today. And, of course, this was their follow-up to 2015's Battering Ram, and that was the last time I actually reviewed a Saxon album. Was, again, back in 2015. Of course, on that same year, as you can see on the back, I saw Saxon on that same year, and hence also the t-shirt. But we're not here to talk about some concert or a past album. We're here to talk about their newest album again, Thunderbolt. And what can be said about Thunderbolt? Well, the album, of course, starts off with the very somewhat ambient, atmospheric intro of Olympus Rising, which, of course, again, serves as an intro to the title track, Thunderbolt, which, well, kicks the album pretty much in overdrive. It's a kick-ass track. What else can be said? And, of course, track 3, we then get The Secret of Flight, which is apparently pretty much about like what the Wright brothers, basically about the whole beginning of flying, with of course with like helicopters these days or airplanes or whatever. Again, probably also hence the whole bird on the front, the eagle. I think that's basically what it is because of the eagle has been the staple of Saxon's logo and the whole pretty much like the mascot of the band ever since, Wheels of Steel. Everything here. So it's definitely a great track. Of course, we then get to Nosferatu, which is probably the most experimental track on this album. Basically, it's more symphonic kind of feel to it, which again adds to the whole lyrics of the song Nosferatu about vampires and shit like that. Just a real great track. And of course, we get to the more tribute song. They played rock and roll. Basically, a tribute to Lemmy, Phil Campbell. Pretty much Motorhead in general, since, of course, recently the late Fast Eddie Clarke, of course, ended up passing away. So it's pretty much more in a nod to the band Motorhead in general. Of course, even the whole back catalog of Saxon, the whole that whole early new wave of British heavy metal movement in general. So, and of course, it's done in a great sort of that kind of feel to it, the song anyway. It's sort of new wave or British heavy metal sound that Saxon definitely still do kind of have. They definitely bring in more of that classic sound to them that you had definitely gotten on albums such as Wheels of Steel, Strong Arm of the Law, Denim and Leather, and of course, just Power and the Glory and classics like that. So, definitely another killer track. Again, back to another interesting part of the sound, of course, is Predator, which features guest vocals from Amon Amarth's Joan Hegg, and definitely adds something interesting with the whole guttural vocals at times here and there. But it's definitely not a death metal track at any means. It's not, but it is, though, kind of adds kind of, I guess, a bit of that Amon Amarth kind of feel to it, but it's definitely done more on the Saxon tradition because of it, definitely with Biff's vocals, and at times when the last part of a song, them both singing together, which adds just the overall feel of the song Predator. Anything. So really pretty cool track nonetheless. And of course, Sons of Odin, the heaviness of Sniper, Wizard's Tale, and of course we get the Speed Merchants, which of course again brings back the speed of like they played rock and roll, but definitely that classic 80s speed metal sound. Just another great track. And then of course Roadie's song, again pretty much a whole tribute to their roadies in general, the ones that definitely put their amps and everything, that unload all the gear for the band, everything, that load it back up, go on tour and everything. Killer track. And of course, you get the raw version of Nosferatu if you buy the CD, which of course basically is without the symphonic stuff. So all in all, there really is no bad song on this album. Everything on here is actually pretty damn good. So, my rating, 9.90 out of 10. It's a real close to being a 10 out of 10. Everything on here, in some ways, I almost feel I kind of like this one a little more than Battering Ram, but that's not to take anything away from the Battering Ram album. I think in many ways, it's just as good as Battering Ram. Maybe, again, maybe not better, but nonetheless, everything on here is very well solid. Saxon definitely, of course, came back with another solid album with, of course, producer Andy Sneap behind. Of course, Andy Sneap, of course, ended up also producing the new Judas Priest, since Saxon, of course, are going on tour with Judas Priest and Black Star Riders. Wish I could see that, but they're not coming close to any dates. So, I can't be able to see both Saxon and Judas Priest again. Besides, since I've never seen Black Star Riders. Anyways, Thunderbolt. Just a great album. If anyone has yet to pick up their copy, if you have picked up your copy, let me know what you think of Thunderbolt. If you think it's better than Battering Ram, or maybe it's not as good as Battering Ram. What are your thoughts? So, with that, hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you enjoyed the album. This is Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out. I'll see you later. Take care.